What's going on, everyone? Welcome to G-Ball Vision. Today, we're taking a look at this fixed blade here, and we're going to decide on whether or not this is one of the best buys on the market for your money when it comes to an EDC fixed blade. Let's get started. So we are going to go to the tabletop with the Watchman W229, and this is going to be kind of one of my best kept secrets here as of lately. This is a fixed blade I picked up, and I've been eyeing this thing up for months now at this point. They were out of stock. You couldn't get them. You could kind of pre-order them, but it was quite a wait for them. And this was back around the holidays, and they just recently became available. They also have a natural micarta. I have a couple of natural micarta handles from Watchman. They are pretty good, and I also have a couple of the green. There are all a little different depending on the version of the knife that you're getting with them. But I probably have 5 other fixed blades from Watchman and Brother Knives. They are sister companies, and this is a replica of an older Nessmuck style fixed blade here. And what we are going to be looking at is 14C28N on that Nessmuck blade. We have a satin finish there. Needs a little wipe down, but 14C is a great steel. Going to be very stain resistant. It's a very tough steel, and it's very easy to get an edge back on 14C28N steel. We are looking at the green canvas micarta handles here, and then we do have a lanyard spot, full tank construction. Very nice on the finishing work here, where the scales meet up with the entire butt end of the handle. Just really nice finishing work. And then we move to the sheath here, and I'm sure people will have some questions, as I did myself. I wondered, is this going to actually fit on belts that I wear? And how is this whole thing going to work out, right? And boy, was I pleasantly surprised with this sheath. Not only is all of the attachment points really solid as far as the button clasp, they're really heavy duty, and they are fitted into the leather as good as I think that they can be. The stitching is nice and heavy, real thick leather here. And then we move to the attachment portion, and that is going to be for a scout carry only. And we are looking at the ability to put my full width belts. Now, of course, a duty belt, depending on the size, but here is a standard leather belt that I've been, wearing for a long time. It fits right over this. So I think even belts that are a little taller, leather will stretch out a little bit. You wouldn't want to go too crazy, but look at all that room in there. I have had no issues getting this over all of my standard belts from all kinds of different companies and several different styles. This was the widest one I could find that I had, and it works perfectly, and it grips really nice. So when you want to pull this out, the fixed blade comes out very, very nicely. Now, what is the price tag of this fixed blade here? These are going to be coming in, guys, at an insane price of $29.99. I don't know how the hell they're putting this out at that price point. If you're questioning the 14C, from everything that I have seen, their 14C is good to go, and everything that I've experienced with their 14C has been good to go. I'm pretty sure it's right around a 59 on the HRC, and that is mainly because they're doing that for toughness side, right? 60s usually where 59, 60, and 58 is even fine as well for 14C. But I have had not a single issue out of their fixed blades in 14C, and I have not had any issue with this guy here over the last couple of weeks. This knife is extremely comfortable. If you're someone who likes scout carry and you like a traditional leather sheath, it's very hard to get these two together. You have to get a custom sheath made most of the time if you want to scout carry or pay an abundance of money. And when I saw this, I just thought, man, I have a couple of their fixed blades. They're solid, especially for the price point. You're usually looking at under $40 for their fixed blades, and they're a nice little package out of the box. But this one to me was the most enticing that I had seen because of this package right out of the box. It's said that it can go right on the belt for scout carry, and I just questioned this area because there are times where, there's not enough room to even get a 1-inch belt. And, there you can see I easily fit my standard belt in there. And as far as the blade shape go, the Nessmuck blade shape here tied in with the 14C, this, in my opinion, is almost the ultimate EDC and companion size fixed blade shape and steel choice, and then my handle material choice for that type of thing as well. This type of micarta, when it gets a little damp or wet or what have you, it gets even grippier than it already is. The pin construction is a nice touch. I do want to get this outside and see how these handles hold up through some various outdoor and around the camp type tasks. But everything I've ran this through so far has been just it's buttery smooth as far as how this thing cuts. It's a great skinning blade shape. It's a great blade shape for a multitude of different tasks. You still have that pokey tip. You have a little bit of belly there, and then you have this straight portion before you get to the belly for a little bit longer cuts. You're able to get up on the tip nicely. You can get right up behind the edge if you got woodwork or carving work or just something you need to get a little bit more into. Just really nice. My only gripe, early on here in the first couple of weeks was the sharpening choil area. You kind of have this guard here. You expert sharpeners out there will have to let me know. It's kind of like the Spyderco way of doing things, if you will, here. But that was my only, not necessarily complaint, but my only question mark on this fixed blade so far. I'll probably cut this off. I think they kind of just put that on there just to say, hey, there's a lanyard hole here. But I left it on there just to show how it will come out of the box. And it just comes in a standard black box. The knife does have a guard on it, and it does come sealed in cellophane as well. Now, for the people who want to go into some of the specs and whatnot, we'll do that now. We got 3.5 inches of cutting edge, 4 inches of total blade, and we're coming down there right at 8 inches. And to put that in perspective, there is the Kaiser Smolt on the bottom and the Vosteed Mink on the top. And you'll see this knife's a little bit bigger than both of those. But if we bump it up just a little bit here, you'll see the Kaiser Militaw up top here. That is going to be almost identical in its size as far as length goes. The Nessmuck blade and handle here, this is going to be, in my opinion, for my hand, just a little bit more comfortable. And then we have the K-Box down here, not only for size reference, but here's an example of something that looks great in a photo. And in some belts, this will work, but this isn't enough room to get any of my belts through here. I have one belt, and I don't wear it very often, that'll actually fit through these scout straps. They needed to be just a little bit bigger. Could you stretch them and, get it there? I don't know. It's not something I've took the time to do. But there's an instance that made me cautious with this fixed blade that I wanted to, really bring to the forefront to let you know that most belts, unless it's a custom belt that's pretty damn wide, that's going to fit over that. So we'll go ahead and we'll get a weight on this, and I can tell you guys it doesn't weigh much at all. It is a great belt knife. I'm telling you, just the fixed blade alone is 4.2, and then we have our leather sheath here So we're talking 6.3 ounces, and just kind of, we'll check grams here, 180 grams as a total package. And then without the sheath, we're talking about 120 grams. Now, I'll do my best to link these in a couple of places if I can. I know that they're available upon recording this on Amazon, and they're at a straight price of $29.99 right now. That's no sales, but they are in stock, so that is a plus. They're ready to be delivered, kind of today or whatever. We're looking at 0.62 here on the handle thickness, and coming in at 125 for our blade stock. And then we'll pick a random spot here just to get an idea, and we're coming in there right around 21 thousandths. But let's see how this thing cuts. And what's cool is, at least for me, is having this on the belt, and like when I just need it for something stupid, or I'm just using it to use my knife, right? Flipping open that clasp and pulling it out of the leather sheath, it don't get much cooler than that. So let's see how this edge is holding up. And we have a little bit, 125, I think it was. That's not thin, but it's not thick. I think that's a good thickness to have something like this at. This isn't meant to be, like a EDC slicer or something like that. This is kind of more of a harder use type of thickness and grind. We're looking at a full flat here, so it's just going to be more of a tough knife, and that's what Nessmuck blades are, designed for. They're meant for a little bit harder use, and this thing has a nice little edge on it. We have that tip there, which will be great for poking and piercing cuts. And then, like I said, these are great for skinning, any type of woodwork, carving, and a Nessmuck blade's going to do really well in EDC tasks. And we'll move up to something a little denser here and see how this thing does. Like I said, not really meant or designed to be like a slicer would be, something that's like 90 thousandths blade stock and comes down 10 thousandths behind the edge. That's not what this is intended for. And I've said it in the past. We have a little tape here right through it. Not everything is about edge retention. That gets driven too much, I think, to the gen pop, right? I think that gets distributed too much. Not everything is about how the edge is going to perform and getting the best edge retention. For some people, that that truly matters for what they're doing. But I would say for the everyday man, coming from a construction background, I want something that's more all around. Like, I have knives geared for everything, but if I'm looking at just a few select fixed blades, a few select folders, I want stuff that's going to give me all around performance. Something I don't have to worry about in the toughness aspect. Boom, right here. Something that's going to be corrosion resistant or do pretty well in that. And in this case, it is exceptionally well. 14C with just minuscule amounts of care will be good to go in the corrosion. The edge retention, is going to be average, but it's going to be above average as far as how easy it is to sharpen. 14C is one of the easiest steels, in my opinion, to get a working edge back on it. And I'm telling you what, guys, if you have like a large XL sized hand, this thing is going to be just so comfortable. It is ridiculous. That little swell at the butt end really just fills out the hand. You can cheat up right behind the edge. If your hand's big enough, you can kind of get up on that tip there for a little bit more control over a cut. I mean, for 30 bucks, this is easily and no question early on here one of the best buys when it comes to a scout carried EDC crossover fixed blade that there is. There's just no question. $30 is freaking insane. I will have these linked down below. You guys will have to let me know what you think of the 229 here. It is definitely a hidden gem amongst a bunch of garbage down around that price point. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Always appreciate that, everyone. It really helps push these videos out there to more people. If you're new to my channel and you enjoy knife and EDC content, you're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe because I release daily videos just like this. I'll pop up a couple of new videos on your screen. Go check one of them out for me. That really helps as well. Have yourself an awesome day. Thank you all again for watching. I will catch you on the next one.